Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Gashi's Kama TV. William Samoei Ruto is making a political blunder. William Samoei Ruto made a blunder that is going to cost him his presidency. The fact that George Natembeya, the Trans Nzoia governor, was arrested is significant, politically speaking. That was a big blunder. That is making a mountain out of an anthill. He is making Natembeya very, very popular. He is marketing George Natembeya. The people of Western are on the street. They have occupied every place. Vehicles vandalized. And this can only show the anger that is boiling in the Mulebe nation. Again, Peter Salasia, the Mumias East Member of Parliament, spent the weekend in police cell. He was released on, I think, a cash bail of Kenya shilling 400,000. And the people of Mulebe nation are extremely angry with William Samoei Ruto. If you thought William Samoei Ruto had lost the presidency, there was some hope in the Mulebe nation. That the Mulebe nation could easily be convinced, and maybe William Samoei Ruto could get some pockets of votes from some constituencies. But as things stand now, I think what we are seeing is just a tip of the iceberg of what is going to happen on the ballot. Kenyans are going to, they are going to cause a revolution on the ballots. There will be what I call ballot revolution or revolution on the booth. And I think Mulebe nation constitutes the second highest number of people when it comes to percentages, coming second after the Mlima nation. And what William Samoei Ruto is doing, unknowingly or knowingly, he is uniting these two regions. And when you look at what happened, you noted that Eugene Wamalwa, Rigathi Gachagua, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and who is who in the opposition, united in support of George Natembeya. George Natembeya is being lionized by William Samoei Ruto. George Natembeya, political standing is far much above anybody else in the Western nation. In fact, if you ask me now today, you know, there was a time somebody like Okiya Mtata used to be very, very highly rated. Today, the Trans Nzoia governor is demolishing everybody. He has demolished Okiya Mtata. He has demolished Musalia Mudavadi. He has demolished Moses Masika Wetangula. The crowds that he is actually attracting is shaking this walls of the State House. The crowd that he has been actually attracting is giving the government sleepless nights. The fear that this man would easily work with Akina Gachagua is now real. And nothing is going to stop him. Ladies and gentlemen, I've always said that those guys who actually advise William Samoei Ruto, I think there is a lot to be desired. If you ask me, it was better if George Natembeya was left alone. Let him talk. But now when you look at what is happening here, I'm not saying that there are no charges against him, because that is a subject that should be proved in court. It's a case that should be proved in court, because they are saying that he has embezzled 1.5 billion. Let him be taken to court, but let it not be dramatized. Doesn't need all this, just summon him and maybe take him to court without any drama. But when you look at these guys who are supporting the opposition, the governors who are siding with the opposition are actually facing serious headache. They are facing problems from William Samoei Ruto's government. If you look at Peter Sarasia again, Peter Sarasia is trying to align himself with the opposition. He's trying to oppose William Samoei Ruto, moving from one county to the other. But what we are seeing, that anybody who is doing this is being arrested. And this one can only say that the idea here is to silence those who are actually in government. Whether you're a member of parliament, if you're a member of parliament, you're siding with Rigathi Gachagua or Cyril Kalonzo Musyoka, you will be accused of embezzling the national government constituency development funds. If you're a governor, the same thing. If you're the senator, the same. And I think it's just a matter of time before these guys who are supporting the opposition are aligned in court with trump-up charges. So what we are seeing is the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, KRI, being used as instruments of government to silence the opposition. Rigathi Gachagua again came out today crying because of what is happening, has been happening to him. And I think it is important if what we are seeing is stopped, because whatever happens is going to affect us. Because when I look at the situation, I think the politics of this nation are reaching a dangerous position. They are at fever pitch. They are at boiling point. And they are worrying, by the way. They are worrying. And if the worst comes to the worst, the buck will always stop with the head of government, the head of state, who is one William Samoei Ruto. And he need to rise up to the occasion and ensure that he bequeath this country peace that was left by Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, Mwai Kibaki, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and now when you look at William Samoei Ruto, there has been so many cases that are actually hurting Kenyans. When you look at it, people being murdered anyhow. In fact, I just learned that somebody, I think a priest, was murdered. I don't know what happened. And you see, these are the kind of people, the murderers, and the people who have been actually, the goons who have been attacking Gachagua. These are the people who should be arrested. These are people who should actually face the full force of the law. But you have not seen anybody being arrested. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I think about the government. The government is failing the people of Kenya, and the buck will actually stop with William Samoei Ruto. Bye-bye.